First step in installing your Dynojet CMD is to remove this engine cover, all your injectors, coils, everything and whatnot's underneath it. Give you plenty of access to it when you're doing this installation. These are your injectors here. You've got 4 of them along this fuel rail. Your map sensor is located down here on the intake. Your throttle position sensor is over here, and your crank sensor is going to be underneath the car. It's going to require you to, pretty much get pretty deep in there to grab it. Your wastegate control valves are right over here. We have main power. This will be used as our ground, and then we have our power distribution boxes where we'll use to tap in our power for our CMD. The first step in this entire process is to remove this cover and disconnect power from the car. We don't want to cause any type of shorts or whatnot during this installation. After you've removed the power from this power distribution panel, I recommend taking some electrical tape and just wrapping this post, just in case you bump it or whatnot. This is live power. The battery in these cars are located in the trunk. Just set this out of the way so it's not in your way. Next step is going to be just go ahead and disconnect the boost control solenoid. It's right here in the back. It's a black plug. You will not be able to get our connector on the boost control solenoid A here. The brown one will not connect to it. Our mass air meter, just disconnect that. It's this plug here. Our TPS, which is located down here, which is this plug right here. Also, I'll just show you real quick under our power distribution panel here where all of our fuses and everything are located. We're going to use this port here that's located just under this 10 amp fuse. We'll have a supplied fuse tap for this location, so you'll just be able to plug right in here and route your wire right out the side. You'll take your 10 millimeter and you'll loosen this ground that's located here. This will be the ground for the CMD. Just kind of get it loose for now so you don't lose the screw during your installation. Now that you have all the connectors in the vehicle disconnected, we are ready to install the CMD harness. The harness will have our MAF, injector, boost control, power, everything in it, so you won't have to worry about supplying any of your own stuff. Basically, we'll just route this cable through the easiest locations. I like to run it through here. This is all for injectors and MAF and everything. Just get most of this to the other side. Once you get it over there, you can focus on getting the MAP sensor and power and whatnot in its location. This is the supplied fuse tap that we'll give you. It's currently got a 5 amp fuse in it. It'll end up going in this location here. We're just going to leave this off to the side for now. We're not going to install that as of yet. We have our ground. We have our mass air meter connectors. We have our boost, basically wastegate control. And that's it for this junction here. The first thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and connect the ground. Remove this one bolt we talked about loosening earlier. Install it here. You don't need to make this tight as of yet because you have a lot more to go for the installation, just to get it out of the way. The next step is going to be your wastegate control solenoid. Just kind of route this around this location here. You'll take the male plug of the CMD and connect it into the female side of this factory connector. And you'll take the female side of the CMD and plug it in directly into the wastegate control valve. Next step is going to be connecting our mass air meter. We'll take the male side of the CMD, plug into the female side of the factory plug, and you'll take the female side of the CMD, plug it into the mass air meter on the vehicle. And you can zip tie some of these cables up right now. I like to make sure everything's tight and out of the way. Let's go ahead and actually just wrap these just where I know that it looks a little bit better to me. That's about it. Next, we're going to go ahead and work our way over here and connect the injectors, MAP, and TPS. Now we're going to go ahead and install the injectors, MAP, throttle position sensor, and crank sensors. You're going to take the female side of the CMD's connector. You're going to just plug it right in to the TPS, basically the throttle body here, right on the side of the car. Once you have that connected, you'll take the male side of the CMD and you'll plug it into the existing connector that's there. You'll go ahead and just lay those off to the side for now. Crank position takes a little bit of time, so we're just going to go ahead and just lay this right down here for now. We'll do that last. And set map up out of the way, and we'll start to install the injectors. Each one of your injectors are located on this rail. You'll take the female side of the CMD, and you'll plug it into the injector. Take the male side of the CMD and you'll plug it into the existing connector that's here. You'll do the same thing on all 4 injectors. Now, the way this works is we have orange, yellow, green, and blue. Orange meaning cylinder 1, yellow meaning cylinder 2, green cylinder 3, and blue cylinder 4. You do not want to mismatch these. Their lengths are usually set to where they go to the correct injector, just to make sure you know they have to go to the right 1 through 4. Now that the injectors are connected, you can start connecting your map sensor. You have the female side of the CMD and the male side. The female side will connect to the existing map sensor. And your male side of the CMD will connect to the existing plug that's already in the car. Don't forget to reinstall the retaining clip that holds the connector onto the map sensor. The CMD will come with these retainers on them. So just remember to make sure you get it in there. The final step of this process is going to be installing your crank position sensor. Underneath the car, you'll take a supplied T-tap, which looks like this, and you're going to tap in to the signal wire that's located on the bottom of the crank, or I'm sorry, located on the bottom of the engine. You have to get your arm down in here. You can disconnect the cable. Once you have the crank wire connected underneath the vehicle, just go ahead and plug the sensor back in. And now you can start zip tying the cables up and out of the way. I like to take the map sensor cable, I'll zip tie it right here to this main harness. And back to the crank sensor, if you have an issue finding the sensor, just follow this loom down to underneath the motor. It'll show you. It's going to go right to it. Zip tie these up here. This is all just cosmetic work now. I'm just trying to make it look halfway decent while it's on the car. TPS and crank. Just sit tight up here. Now, since we're done with this portion of the installation, we can go ahead and reinstall the cover that goes over this. As you can see, pretty much it still looks factory. You don't have to leave any of this off the car to have the CMD connected to it. It's a nice setup. Now we're moving back over to this side. We can go ahead and tighten down the ground. We'll go ahead and install the power for the CMD. We'll connect it to this fuse part underneath the 10 amp fuse that's already there. You'll just route this cable through the easiest track back out of the power box. You can go ahead and reinstall the power box back into its location. You can take your CMD, and you can plug it right into this connector. You just set it down here for now, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be doing something with it. And now we can go ahead and unwrap our power and reconnect it to the vehicle. Take your 12mm socket, tighten down. And just take your cover and reinstall it back into its existing location. You can take a couple zip ties if you want. You know, you can zip tie through these holes in the CMD to put the CMD wherever you'd like in this location over here. But that is the installation of the Dynojet CMD.